In today's game, the most important moments, the ones that decide championships, often don't happen right down the middle or way out on the wing. Nope. They happen in this narrow, almost hidden channel that the world's best teams have turned into a lethal weapon. Today, we're unlocking the secret of the half space.
So let me ask you a question. What do you think is the most valuable piece of real estate on a football pitch? While our eyes are usually glued to the ball or the player in front of goal, the real answer is a little more subtle. It's the key to pretty much every single elite attack you see on TV, and we're about to show you exactly where it is.
All right, let's dive in. You hear this term thrown around by pundits all the time, right? The half space. But what is it really? I promise you, it's not just some fancy buzzword. It's a very specific and incredibly powerful part of the field. The definition itself is actually pretty simple. A half space is just one of the vertical channels running from goal to goal that sits right between the crowded, central part of the pitch and the wide areas out by the touchline. A really great way to picture this is to stop thinking about the pitch being split in half and instead see it carved up into these 5 vertical lanes. You've got your wings on the outside and the central zone, of course. But in between them, you have the 2 half spaces, and their location is everything. It gives you the best of both worlds, the goal threat of a central position combined with the space and better angles of a wider area. It is the tactical sweet spot. So, now we know where it is, but that's only half the story. The real magic is in understanding why it's so powerful. Why do the best managers in the world build their entire attacking philosophies around controlling these 2 narrow strips of grass? Well, first off, it's all about what we call positional superiority. The second a player gets the ball in the half space, it sends a defense into a panic. It naturally creates passing triangles, and most importantly, it forces defenders to make impossible choices. I mean, imagine you're a fullback for a second. Do you step inside to mark that player, leaving the winger wide open on the touchline? Or do you stay wide and give that player all the time in the world to turn and attack? There's no right answer, and that split second of indecision is exactly what attackers want. And that's really the crucial point here. The half space acts like a master key against packed defenses. It's the natural gap between a fullback and a center back. By getting a player in there, you can receive the ball between the lines, that sweet spot between the opposition's midfield and defense. This forces defenders to step out of their nice organized line, and the moment they do, bam, a huge gap opens up for other runners to dart into. And honestly, so much of this is just pure geometry. When you're in the half space, the angles to attack just completely open up. A diagonal pass from there can slice a defense wide open. A through ball has a much clearer path to a striker making a run. And for players who love to cut inside, this zone offers the perfect angle on goal. It's basically a tactical cheat code. Teams also use the half space to create simple numerical advantages, or what coaches call overloads. Take a look at this. By flooding the zone with 3 attackers against just 2 defenders, you've created a 3v2. The defense is in a no-win situation. But, and this is a big but, there's a downside. It's a high-risk, high-reward move. If you commit that many players forward and you lose the ball, you're suddenly wide open for a counterattack right into the space you just abandoned. So we get what it is and why it's so deadly. Now let's get into the really good stuff. How do the world's best coaches actually weaponize this zone? Because trust me, none of this happens by accident. It's all part of a very deliberate tactical blueprint. The whole foundation is a philosophy called positional play, which has been perfected by coaches like Pep Guardiola. The core idea is simple. Create a team structure where, no matter where the ball is, those 5 vertical lanes are always occupied. This setup guarantees that players are always available in the half spaces, ready to receive a pass, stretch the defense thin, and keep the attacking options flowing. Another game-changing tactic is the inverted fullback. For years, fullbacks just ran up and down the wing, but modern coaches have them drift inside, right into the half space. Why would they do that? Well, it gives their team an extra player in central midfield, making it way easier to control possession. Plus, it vacates the entire wing for a fast winger to go one-on-one with their defender. Players like Joao Cancelo have absolutely perfected this role. Okay, now for a move that causes pure chaos. We all know the overlap, where a player runs around the outside. Well, the underlap is its devastating cousin. A player makes a sharp, darting run on the inside of their teammate, slicing right through the half space. It's so brilliant because defenders are programmed to expect the run out wide. The sudden inside burst catches them totally flat-footed, drags them out of position, and opens up the goal. And finally, it's about coordinated movement, almost like a well-rehearsed dance. Watch how this works. First, the striker drops deep into the half space. This is just the bait. It forces the center back to decide, do I follow him or do I let him go? If he follows, he leaves a huge gap in the defensive line. And that's the trigger. The exact moment that happens, the winger cuts inside to attack that new space. It's a fluid rotation designed to pull a defense apart piece by piece until it breaks.
So, which players have truly made this tactical playground their own? Let's look at a few of the geniuses who have turned the half space into their personal workshop for creating goals.
You just can't talk about the half space without talking about Kevin De Bruyne. He practically lives in the right half space. From that exact position, he has the perfect angle to whip in those unstoppable, curling crosses between the goalkeeper and the defenders. It's a signature move, and it's easily one of the most dangerous weapons in all of world football.
Then you've got a player like Thomas Müller. He doesn't have a fixed position. He's a Raumdeuter, which translates to space interpreter. His genius is his incredible, uncanny ability to find and drift into pockets of space where defenders aren't. And more often than not, that space he finds is right there in the half spaces, where he can arrive like a ghost to score or set up a teammate. And of course, there's Lionel Messi. Throughout his entire career, he has mastered the art of drifting from a central or wide position into the half space. And from there, he can do anything. Play quick 1-2s with teammates, dribble at a defense that's already been knocked off balance, or cut inside for that signature finish. For him, the half space is the launch pad for all his creativity. So after all the theory and seeing the masters at work, what's the big takeaway here? How does knowing this actually change how you watch football? The main point is this. In today's game, understanding and exploiting the half spaces isn't just some clever tactic. It's absolutely essential. It has become a fundamental principle of elite football. The ability to control these zones is what separates the good teams from the great, title-winning ones. So, I want to leave you with this. The next time you sit down to watch a match, try to look beyond just the ball. Watch for the movement in those channels between the center and the wing. See which players are occupying the half spaces, and watch how the defense reacts to them. I guarantee you'll start to see the hidden geometry of the game unfold right before your eyes. And that leads to the final question. Football is a chess match. For years, the half space has been the attacker's best move, but now defenses are adapting. They're using back five formations to add an extra body, or using man-marking schemes to deny players entry into these zones. So what's the counter move? As this space gets shut down, where will football's next great tactical battle be fought? That's the beautiful, ever-evolving nature of the game.